Hey guys, you seem to enjoy my commentary videos, so I'm going to keep rolling with them, and tonight we're going to talk about GDKPs. But first, I appreciate all the feedback and all the different viewpoints you've been able to give me towards my earlier videos, so I really appreciate that. So if you could continue thumbs upping the videos and subscribing, I really would appreciate that. But back to GDKPs, if you ever have watched my stream, you know that sometimes I've been super critical of GDKPs, and I don't think that they're necessarily good for the game, but I've been trying to have more of a positive approach towards the general atmosphere. And like me, a lot of people in the game would just go straight to the blame to GDKPs. They're bad for the game, we don't like the people that do them, this and that, they bring bad atmosphere, this and that community. And well, after thinking about it a little harder, the obvious reason is the botting and Blizzard's inability to do really anything about the botting. The problem is the gold buying, the gold selling, and what it does to the market, and of course all the majority of bots that aren't getting dealt with. Now, for the average player, GDKPs necessarily aren't that bad. They're good for people that say they need an item that they can't get in their raid, they're 5th on their BIS list, they're 5th on Loot Council, they're 5th behind their WoW GM's girlfriends, sister-in-laws, goldfish, right, for the sword that they want. And they have some surplus money that they've saved up for a long time, and they go buy that item. That's not a big deal. That's okay. People that miss a reset, people that don't have consistent guilds, people that can't find a guild, people that just don't want to be in guilds. There's a lot of just soul GDKP guilds out there. Now, they're not necessarily bad, and I do think it's a great way for people to play the game, but now here's some reasons that are pretty common as to why they're not good. And just the overall atmosphere and culture around them really is hurting the community right now. And a lot of people consider GDKPs pay to win. Now, I thought the same as well, that GDKPs were basically pay to win. And there's I think of the situation that happened in Classic as like the jumpstart of GDKP for Mankrik and all the hype that surrounded him on the server Mankrik. And this warrior bought Rejuvenating Gem and Locomere for his flash set for 90,000 gold. That was the first, big splash of GDKP. It was all over LFG chat, all over trade chat. Hey, this guy spent 90,000 gold. I just got such a big pay cut. Things like that. And that's really what started GDKPs. Now, I can see why people say that's pay to win, and ultimately that goes for the next point, is that GDKPs aren't really good for the game either, because they promote gold buying. They make people think that gold buying is okay in World of Warcraft, and I could sit here and state more detailed facts about why it's not good for the game, but people should just not be buying gold, and that's just a major problem. Now, another issue that I think everyone can relate with, especially with dealing with the roster boss right now in Wrath of the Lich King, is that you go find people in LFG Finder, you find people in LFG chat, maybe your server's Discord, you're looking for let's say a feral druid, and you find one and he's got like a 4.8k gear score, he's okay to fill your 25, he seems like a decent player, he doesn't talk like a bot, we're good. And then you go look at his logs, right, and it's like 5, 6, 7s. Now, there's no literal proof, and parsing is a whole different topic, but like seeing how many attempts they have and they're parsing grays like that, they clearly don't know how to play their class, and I highly doubt they're running consistently bad pugs that helps them parse like that. So these people are more than likely going to GDKPs, buying all their gear, and now they're getting they're going to other runs, and they're not necessarily tainting, but they're not helping these pugs and these other guild runs where they need just a consistent DPS. And a lot of these people that are buying these gear, they just don't know how to play these classes. They've never really played with them. They just had a lot of money, gold, they had a surplus gold, or they bought gold or whatever, and they're going and buying this gear, and then they're going to other raids, and they're just not performing well because they don't know how to play the class. Because GDKP, it's okay to be a quote unquote buyer and just go in there and get carried and buy loot. I mean, I've seen people who literally will tell the raid leader that they're not going to play, they're just going to sit at the entrance, and then they just sit there and buy every set of piece of gear for their spec, and they go and try to do these other raids with guilds, and they're just not good performers. And I think a lot of that has to do with GDKPs, but that's just my quick input about how I feel about GDKPs right now, and how they're not really exactly good for the game, but they're not necessarily bad either, and they're here to stay. It just gives people a different way to play the game. So if it's something that you're not okay with, then I'm not sure what to tell you, because they'll be around for a while now. But I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you. Later.